love yourself. I think once we can learn to forgive ourselves for any past mistakes that we've labeled as mistakes, then we can move into unconditionally loving ourselves. I don't believe that you can love another until you learn to love yourself. And I think this is actually what generates a lot of suffering for many of us. Because as hard as we try to love our parents, to love our wife or our husband, our friends, co-workers, our children, if we haven't first found that love within, we can't give it. I celebrated my 37th birthday on Thursday and wanted to wait to make this video in honor of that celebration for me, because I can finally say with the utmost truth that I am truly on the path to unconditionally loving myself. I don't want to say I'm 100% there, and maybe in this lifespan I won't be, but I'm getting really close. I think the key is not to be perfect all the time. We are still human after all, and having the human experience. And I think this is actually the biggest part of our journey here, is learning how to do this. Because as easy as it sounds, you know as well as I do, it's not easy at all. It's actually the hardest thing you're ever gonna accomplish. So you come to this place finally that I have found myself, and you might find yourself here too, that although you still have faults and your issues and things that you could improve on, you're just easier on yourself suddenly. You are not so quick to beat up on yourself. You're just a little bit more laid back and a lot more like your own best friend than your own worst enemy. This is when you know you're on the path to truly loving yourself. You're gentle. You're kind. At the end of the day, no matter what's happened, you're still proud, honored, and happy to be you. It's honestly the best birthday present I could have given myself this year. And it came on the heels of a very just explosive and chaotic time in my life. 8 months ago, none of the outside relationships in my life were working. I was experiencing conflict with my daughter. I was experiencing conflict with every single one of my friends, my acquaintances, my family members. And because it was in every relationship, it broke me. It finally happened in a way. This is the universe's big wake-up call to me as part of my awakening, to shove it so hard in my face that the only constant here is me. And it was time for me to take a hard look in the mirror and to ask myself the really tough question: what am I doing to create this? What am I doing to create all of these people having animosity towards me? Because I'm actually a really loving, outgoing, and good person. But what am I doing? After really analyzing it, I realized the only thing I was doing wrong was I was trying to love them before I was loving myself. That's it. Now that I've started doing this, a very interesting thing happened to me this weekend. Some of those friendships that dissolved, they were suddenly there, celebrating my birthday with me and reflecting a light back to me and a love back to me that was not there 6 months ago. The friendship was gone. And I turned inward instead of looking outward, truly for the first time in my life. And I've held strong to it. And I'm proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that my beliefs are now what I know to be the truth. There's a real power in setting out to not just gain a bunch of knowledge from others and say that you believe these things. That's fine and good, but until you apply them and then see the magic working in your own life, they're just beliefs. But when you know them, these become fundamental truths that cannot be broken. So I invite everyone out there, all of my viewers, if you have gone through the process of forgiving yourself, you are definitely primed and ready to begin loving yourself. And truly the only key to this that I have found is every time I start having a self-defeating thought, one that is aimed at picking on something I don't like about myself physically, something emotional that I'm going through that I peg myself as maybe the villain in, or, you know, I'm really my own worst critic. And so I tend to actually be super hard on myself. And I abuse myself mentally and emotionally. So, you know, over the last 6 months, I've been very careful. When I see myself doing that, I stop. And I start reminding myself of all the things that are wonderful about me. And if I make a mistake or I do something, I say, okay, that's okay. This is how you learn. It's part of the process. And it's starting to become just the way my inner thoughts are operating. It is no longer the norm for me to speak negatively to myself. Love yourself. Although it may be the biggest challenge of your life to accomplish this, once you do, everything else is answered. There is no other answer for you to try to find. The seeking stops there. That is where all of your true power lies, and all of the great gifts that you have to give to this world flow through that emotion. This is not an ego-based love. This isn't you go and you look in the mirror and adore the way that you look, although your physical self is part of loving yourself. This doesn't mean you have to be perfect looking physically to love the way that you look. This means you accept and you take what you have been given, the vehicle that you've been given, and you make it the best that you can. You take great care of it. You dress in a way that's expressive and expresses a part of your personality. You know, you take pride in the vehicle in a good, healthy way so that you feel good and you emanate that outward. It's part of loving yourself. You know, pursuing your creativity and giving yourself that time is part of loving yourself and honoring yourself in your journey. Taking the time to meditate, taking the time to just relax, to have fun, and allow yourself to. Don't think you always need to be on the go. That isn't what this life is. This life is about being. Simply be. The more labels you load on yourself, the more chances you have not to forgive and to love yourself. Just allow the truth and the love to come through you. That's my message to you tonight. And I can say that I love each of you. All of your comments and your energy that you've brought into my life have truly filled me up and mirrored back to me. what I'm already feeling for me. So thank you. I hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day weekend with your families and your friends. And I will be talking to you soon. Namaste.